So what I'm going to do is show you guys my process on how I'm going to go about planning the whole pre-construction phase from start to finish, and I don't even know how this is going to go, so I got to think about how I want to do this. But you guys are going to join us on the ride, so let's do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by laying out every kind of like feature that is involved in the pre-construction phase. That way I can kind of organize it in what makes most sense in which order. So that way I can kind of have an idea of, okay, these are the different steps of the pre-construction phase. Should I be doing a separate SOP or system for each section, or maybe do I combine a few? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my sticky notes, I'm going to get my marker, I'm going to write out all the different steps that we include in our pre-construction phase. All right, everybody, so I went ahead and wrote down, oh, I don't even think you guys can see that. Well, I wrote down all the sticky notes for kind of like the steps. There may be some that I just went off of what we normally tell the customer. Of course, there's gonna be some that are behind the scenes that I need to also think about. But first, what I'm going to do is work with these. I'm gonna go ahead and write the title, which is gonna be, of course, now don't make fun of my horrible writing and stuff. Maybe I'll change that in the future if it bothers me enough. But pretty much, this is the pre-construction phase. So to kind of give you an idea of what steps I have written down so far, I'm just going to kind of go through them, not in a specific order, but we have the detailed scope of work, we have schedule creation, layout drawings, budget alignment, final estimate, permits and drawings, design services, material selection, and on-site visits. This isn't like pre-planned or anything, so like I'm kind of like looking at this and almost like you're seeing me think about this. So obviously, detailed scope of work most likely will come first, because typically we want to have some sort of detailed scope of work so we can actually start the rest of the phases. I would also say that permits and drawings might be in with that, because realistically we're not going to do site visits with our trades until we have permits and drawings in place. What I'm also going to do is for layout drawings, because this is what we would almost make our own drawings in the scenario that we weren't getting permits or drawings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put layout drawings and permit drawings on the same level here, just so at least, you know, it's one or the other. And then the final estimate. Perfect. So if you guys want to pause the video, that's kind of the process that we have. Also, as you might have seen here, I just kept these sticky notes in case, or whenever I'm ready to start doing the budget creation side. And then this is also some ideas I had, such as I want to have a pre-construction handbook, which this is not super important right now, so I'm not going to worry about developing this right this second. But something like printing the proposal during the final estimate, I want to have the printed proposal, because I think that's going to kind of make a little bit of a difference for the customer, as they'll feel like they almost, you know, are getting something extra. So okay, I'm going to think. I'm going to sit on my couch behind me and I'm going to think for a little bit. All right, this is going to be an intense one. I'm thinking I'm going to do everything in one flow. So I'm going to try and make this one shot. It's not going to happen. But I'm going to try to have it all laid out by tonight so that I can spend the rest of this week kind of just looking at it and thinking about it. But let's get to it. And by the way, I'm going to be using red as kind of like, actually no, how should I do this? Because there's not really like a bad way that a customer can take in a pre-construction phase. Because originally I would use red as in you don't want them to go that way, and blue as in this is the right way. But in this scenario, there's not really a right or wrong way. I'm going to use black for the direction, but I'm also going to use blue and red as like the start and finish, because that's like, you know. So if you recall, I talked about how putting a sticky note on its side means that this is a decision, which is what I'm using here, which is permit required. So I kind of changed this up a little bit. Instead of going up, which would then not allow me to add some notes here for these items, which I want to do, I just went to the side. The reason I did that was because, well, the reason I went up in the first place is I wanted to try to save some space because I know this is going to be a long one, but I'd rather have an area for notes. It's me again. Okay. I feel like I'm not going into enough detail with this, so I am going to erase my title. I'm probably going to get a step ladder because it's pretty tall, or tall. It's pretty high up there. And I'm going to, because I don't really want to erase all this, even though it's really not that much. I don't know. Let me just sit down again. So I ended up erasing everything, and as you can see, a lot more sticky notes. So from what I can think of right now, this is everything that's going to be needing to be done in the pre-construction phase. I'm going to take this one out for a you-know-what, and then as I'm doing that, I'm going to just brainstorm, think, you know, it's a good time to kind of get that thought about, and then I'm going to come back and continue. So, shall we? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to go for a walk? Oh, okay. Okay, we added a few more items. There's a lot. I got some work to do, so let's get to it. Well, at some point it stopped recording. Unfortunately, it hit the maximum recording time, so I don't know how long that is, but I'll let you know. Pretty much we are done. As you can see, that is the pre-construction phase broken down for what I can think of right now. That's a lot. So I think that's gonna be it for me today. It is already 6 o'clock. So I think that's all I'm going to do today. I might just quickly review this a little bit, and then we can maybe go over it tomorrow or something. But anyways, guys, see you tomorrow.